To the week, Claire, no doubt. Number 1 is Denman, Sam Thomas. 2, Exotic Dancer, AP McCoy. 3 is Madison de Berlais, the Hennessy winner, Tom Scudamore. 4, Our Vic, winner of this race last year, Timmy Murphy. Down to 5, Snoopy Loopy, Seamus Durack. 6 is The Listener, Andrew McNamara. 7, Mr. McGoldrick, is Jade Collier. Down to 8, Air Force One, Noel Feely. 9, Alberta's Run, Jock Thornton. And 10, Starter Mahazon. Ruby's not on Denman, of course. He's on the bottom one, and that's Starter Mahazon, an 8-to-1 chance.
Well, quite remarkably, Denman, who was an odds-on shot this morning, now can be backed at 6-to-5 on course. It's Exotic Dancer, a 3-to-1 from 100 to 30. Starter Mahazon's been the one for the each-way money. He's into 8-to-1 now. Madison de Berlais and Albertas Run are 12-to-1 shots. 16-to-1 Air Force One. It's 25-to-1 Our Vic. 66 is his Snoopy Loopy and The Listener, and it's 100-to-1 Mr. McGoldrick. Well, Claire was talking about depression, Gary. I think it's the bookmakers who've got depression. Why is Denman this price?
He did to travel well, but Madison de Berlais is the horse that made Denman look ordinary at Kempton.
Yeah, he did, Claire, and he was a very impressive winner at the Hennessy, and I think he'd 11-2 or 11-4 maybe in the Hennessy, so that was a good performance early on in the season. He looks bright and well today. Maybe he just had an off day at Cheltenham. But
he didn't jump well at Cheltenham, and he was fighting Tom all the way around. I was standing next to Peter Scudamore watching it, and he was from really early on. He was saying, "Oh no, what are you doing?"
And flat track just might suit him, Claire. You'd never know. He's got the form and the book, but he has to come back from a bad run last time.
Anything else you think might, surprise him? Exotic Dancer's the obvious danger, I suppose. With those earplugs in, you can just see.
Yeah, he always wears them in the cheek pieces. The biggest problem Tony McCoy has with this horse is he's very keen, has to be dropped out last, and he would love if they all went and followed Denman and there was a cutthroat pace up front and he came from behind. It doesn't work like that, but I would really fancy him if there was a 3-runner race, because you could sit closer to the pace on him. But he'll be coming late on him, but he looks fit and well.
Ruby Walsh just to the right there of AP McCoy, wearing the gold armband. That's going to be carried by the leading jockey at the meeting, and because Ruby won the opening race of the meeting, he has taken possession, finished 4th in the second race, has taken possession of the golden armband, and if he gets it his way, he won't be letting up on it either.
No, Starter Mahazon, he was a good horse a couple of years ago, won the Sun Alliance Chase at Cheltenham, and this is a step up for him. He's got to improve.
This is interesting. Keep an eye on Denman at the start, because at the Cheltenham Gold Cup they surrounded him with the other Nichols runners to kid him along. He doesn't always put his best foot forward at the start.
Coming in, and it was very noticeable, Sam Thomas was all the time keeping him alert, Denman, at the start there, and he was just giving him a couple of slaps down the neck just to wake him up a little bit as they come to the first of 19 fences. And we've lost one back in the field there, and back in the field there we've lost Starter Mahazon. Starter Mahazon has gone to the first. Come to the first open ditch, number 2, and it's The Listener and Madison de Berlais. Madison de Berlais, a fractional lead to the near side. Snoopy Loopy in behind them, 3rd. A gap then to Air Force One, followed by Alberta's Run. Settling in centre field is Exotic Dancer. Denman there as well, out very wide, Mr. McGoldrick, and then Our Vic. Heading up now towards the 3rd, and the pace is good. On the outside, Madison de Berlais led over it there from The Listener, and then in 3rd is Snoopy Loopy, who made a mistake there. Then Air Force One behind them is Alberta's Run. 2 circuits to go. On the inside next is Denman, followed then by Our Vic in the centre, and then on the inside is Exotic Dancer. Mr. McGoldrick is last, and Denman at this moment making about 6th position and still trying to strike that rhythm.
Yeah, it's important for Sam Thomas to get himself into a nice position here. You don't be afraid if you see him, pull him out a little bit wider down the back.
There's plenty of pace on here early, which will suit him as they go into the back now towards the 4th. Madison de Berlais led over that one. They all jump it okay. Snoopy Loopy up in 2nd, back in 3rd. Then is the grey. And there's Denman right in the middle of the pack there. Our Vic on his inside. In fact, he's back probably a little bit further than most people would have expected. They come to the 5th, and it's Madison de Berlais on the inside of Snoopy Loopy. The Listener, the grey in the centre, has dropped in behind now into 3rd. Second open ditch coming up. Alberta's Run is jumping it out wide. They're followed further back by Air Force One. Denman is tracking him out very wide on the track. Then is Mr. McGoldrick, and then on the inside is Our Vic. And still weighted with as they go over the 7th is Exotic Dancer. But it's Madison de Berlais on the inside, the leader, clearly by 2 or 3 lengths as they head down the back. And still Denman back in the field at this stage as they now have established a racing rhythm heading across the top towards the cross fence.
The thing here with Denman is I'm sure that Sam Thomas would love to be a little bit closer here. We're just watching them all jump over this. Little bit of a mistake from Exotic Dancer there at the back. He's the one horse that it suits this track because he's normally a very, very good traveller in that he's always in a good position and he's going around the inside, he's saving ground. Sam Thomas has to pull wide because he's on a horse who lacks that little bit of pace.
Coming into the straight now on the first occasion towards the 9th. Madison de Berlais takes off with the riderless horse on his outside, clears that well from the Listener. Then in third is Snoopy Loopy, followed by Air Force One the inside. Alberta's Run is wider out. They come towards the third open ditch now. A mighty leap by the leader, and Denman jumped that well on the outside. He's gone up into about 5th position now, poised on the outside of Alberta's Run. In behind them is Our Vic, and Mr. McGoldrick taken very wide as he has been for most of the way. Heading up the home straight now towards the 11th. And the riderless horse preceding the field here as Madison de Berlais led over that from in second Snoopy Loopy. They're followed by Denman. He's now interested and he's starting to stride up boldly on the outside. The Listener is behind them from Our Vic. Then Air Force One, Alberta's runners out wider. Further back then Exotic Dancer just starting to make a bit of ground, and Mr. McGoldrick is last, but Denman's come alive.
He has come alive, and I think that's everybody would be delighted to see that, especially Sam Thomas on board. The number one thing here, if I had a radio mic on Sam, I'd say to him, look, don't panic. All the horses have been finishing very slowly today, so don't be afraid if they're going very quick.
Well, they have gone quick as well, and he's just starting to move up now on the outside into third as they go over the 12th, and Snoopy Loopy got right into that. But Madison de Berlais led Snoopy Loopy, and Denman now being pushed along on the outside. They're followed by Alberta's Run and Our Vic, and behind them Exotic Dancer. The inside is Air Force One as the leader comes to the 13th. Further back then is the Listener starting to lose ground. Denman, he's now starting to apply some pressure, and he's now starting to travel up on the outside as they come to the 4th open ditch, and a good lead by Denman. So too the leader, Madison de Berlais. So Madison de Berlais is the leader on the inside. Mr. McGoldrick's been pulled up out wider on the track. Denman moves up now to join this leader as they attack the last one down the back, and he jumped it perfectly. 4 left to jump now, and this is the race is really on in earnest.
It certainly is. You can just see Sam Thomas. He's sitting down in the saddle, just asking Denman to go and lengthen. I don't think he needs to here because the horse in front has had it all his own way, and he's the one that's enjoying himself, Madison de Berlais.
Madison de Berlais on the inside, coming to the cross fence, 4 out, narrow leader over it from Denman. Exotic Dancer is a big threat. A long gap then to the chasing pack as they round the turn. He's under the whip now, Denman on the outside. He's still there. He's doing this all on heart as they round the corner. 3 left to jump now. Stoked up by Sam Thomas. Denman on the near side. Madison de Berlais the far side. They come now to 3 out, neck and neck. And it's Denman on the outside who led over it narrowly. Madison de Berlais won't go away. 4 or 5 lengths down to Exotic Dancer. They come to the last edge now. This is the second last. Madison de Berlais finding more. Madison de Berlais and Denman has gone. Denman has gone in the second last. Madison de Berlais left 6 or 7 lengths in front. Trying hard then is Exotic Dancer in second place. Sam Thomas on the floor. Denman is now galloping away riderless, but with 1 left to jump, Madison de Berlais is 7 lengths, 8 lengths in front of Exotic Dancer. He's absolutely walking Madison de Berlais, but he clears the last. And second is Exotic Dancer running on particularly well. A long gap Alberta's Run. But up towards the line now, Madison de Berlais, he's going up and down in the one spot, but he's done enough to win. A courageous performance, a big win. Madison de Berlais has won it from in second place. Exotic Dancer, then back in third is Alberta's Run, followed by Our Vic, and they're followed next by Snoopy Loopy. And the riderless Denman, he doesn't look too good at all. He's very proppy as he goes past the line.
It looks to me like Denman's gone lame, but there's a problem with Denman here. He's just caught, the girl has just caught him here, and he just does look to be a little bit sore. Let's just hope, fingers crossed, everything's going to be okay.
There he is there, and there is the winning jockey, Tom Scudamore. Madison de Berlais. Tom Scudamore. Sam Thomas, I believe, is up on his feet and has walked away. There he is there. Very, very disappointed.
He was in trouble a long way out, Jim, I feel, and you know, Sam had to apply the pressure that he did. Many people are going to say, why did he go on when he did? The reason he went on was because the horse wasn't travelling. The horse wasn't giving him the vibes that he was going to get home, so he had to make his move when he did, and it showed it because Madison de Berlais had it all his own way.
12-1 Madison de Berlais, 7-2 Exotic Dancer, 11-1 Albertas Run. Interesting, Mick, I thought that, you know, he came alive, then all of a sudden he was not responding, then he was responding again down the back. He ran in patches for me.
There was no fluency to his run today, Jim, as you just said. And the thing is, with this horse in front, what we forgot was he had it all his own way, and he was really enjoying himself, this horse.
Yeah, he's a really classy horse on his day, a Hennessy winner. He ran so well, of course, in that to win that.
And don't forget, he beat Denman as well at Kempton.
I was just going to say that he beat him 20 lengths or so there. And although we know Denman wasn't himself on that occasion, but he is a classy horse on his day, and he went to the Gold Cup with an outsider's chance. But there's Tom Scudamore, a big win for him, this Tote Sport Bowl Chase, and also for the owners, Roger Stanley and Yvonne Reynolds, and also for trainer David Pipe. Fantastic for them. And there is David Pipe in the centre. David Johnson, of course, last year's Grand National winning owner, Comply or Die. He's there as well.
Well, I don't want to dampen the celebrations of Tom Scudamore and David Pipe and Madison de Berlais. Wonderful victory from them, but like many of you at home, all of us here are just worried about Denman. That was a crashing fall he took at the second last. He's on his feet. Paul Nicholls is down there, and he's going to be taken away in the horse ambulance. Ruby Walsh is there as well, who departed at the first fence. Having a look at him, he looks lame on his off foreleg, his right foreleg, as you look at it. And I just hope he's all right. He had been trying so hard. Sam Thomas had been at him from a long, long way from home, really pushing, trying to ask for everything. He just ticks off too soon, doesn't get high enough, comes crashing down on his head and neck.
Yeah, and hopefully, Claire, he's going to be okay. It doesn't look, when he got up, he first trotted away. That's Paul Nicholls in the ring, obviously disgusted. But let's just hope the horse is okay. He got up and he trotted away a couple of strides, and he didn't look too bad. And I would say if there was anything broken there, he'd probably be a lot lamer than he is. But well done to Madison de Berlais and Tom Scudamore. A wonderful, wonderful performance. And I was thinking after a circuit, he was getting everything his own way. And back to form. We've seen the Pipe Yard do this back at Aintree over the years. It's a great performance from him.
We're just hearing news that Denman has suffered a bad cut, and we hope that that is as bad as it is, and that we will see him back next season. We'll tell you more as soon as we hear it. But Denman a faller at the second last. Here, absolutely delighted Tom Scudamore, Madison de Berlais. He really has had a great season, this horse, winner of the Hennessy, beat Denman at Kempton, desperately disappointed.